Chosen ones, this Friday, God will show you why you had to wait. Every moment of delay, every unanswered prayer, every door that stayed closed, it's all been leading to this. You've felt the weight of patience, the sting of uncertainty, but something divine is aligning. This Friday, the fog clears, and the reason for your waiting steps into the light. You've been walking a path that felt endless. Nights spent questioning, days spent pushing through storms that seemed to target only you. But those moments weren't wasted. They were forging you. Like a blade in fire, every second of endurance sharpened your spirit. God wasn't ignoring you. He was preparing you. This Friday, the pieces of your story start falling into place. You'll see why the delays were necessary, why the struggles had to shape you. Think about the dreams you've carried, the ones you whispered to the stars, the ones you held on to when everything else crumbled. Those dreams weren't accidents. They were planted in you for a purpose. This Friday, God's about to show you the first glimpse of why those dreams matter. It's not just about reaching the destination, it's about who you're becoming along the way. The waiting wasn't punishment, it was training. And if you're sitting there, wondering if this moment is really for you, let me tell you something. You're not here by chance. Your soul was called to this message. The fact that you're listening right now means you're one of the chosen ones, marked for something greater. Drop a 777 inches the comments if you feel that spark in your heart, that knowing that this Friday is your turning point. You've faced battles that no one else sees. Silent wars in your mind, in your spirit, in your life. Maybe it's a job that drains you, a relationship that tests you, or a dream that feels just out of reach. But every battle was building your strength. This Friday, God's flipping the script. What felt like a setback is about to become your setup. The delays, they were divine appointments, scheduling you for a breakthrough you couldn't have handled before now. Picture this, a seed buried in the dirt. It doesn't look like much. It's stuck, surrounded by darkness, pressed down by the weight of the earth. But that seed isn't dead, it's growing. Its roots are stretching. Its strength is building. You're that seed, chosen one. This Friday, you're breaking through the soil. The light is coming, and you're about to bloom in ways you never imagined. If this message is hitting you, if it's stirring something deep inside, hit that like button. Let's spread this energy to every chosen one out there, and subscribe to join thousands of souls walking this divine path together. Your support keeps this message alive. Now, let's talk about what's waiting for you. This Friday isn't just another day. It's a marker, a moment where God pulls back the curtain and shows you the why behind your wait. Maybe it's clarity on a decision you've been wrestling with. Maybe it's a door opening that you thought was locked forever. Or maybe it's a quiet knowing in your heart that you're exactly where you're meant to be. Whatever it is, it's coming, and it's tailored for you. You've been faithful, even when it hurt. You kept showing up, even when the road was rough. That's not nothing. That's the mark of a chosen one. God sees every step you've taken, every tear you've shed, every time you chose to keep going. This Friday, He's ready to show you why it all mattered. The delays weren't denials, they were divine timing. Imagine standing at the edge of a river, the water's moving fast, and you've been waiting for the right moment to cross. You've been patient, watching the current, trusting the moment would come. This Friday, the waters part. You're stepping across, not because the river stopped, but because you're ready to walk through it. God's been building that strength in you all along. And here's the thing, your waiting wasn't just about you. Your story, your breakthrough, it's going to light the way for someone else. You're not just a chosen one, you're a beacon. This Friday, when God shows you why you had to wait, it's not just for your heart, it's for the world. Someone out there needs your courage, your faith, your story. You're about to become living proof that God's timing is perfect. Drop another 777 inches the comments if you're ready to step into this moment. Let's claim this Friday together. The waiting is over, chosen one. The reason is coming. You're not just surviving, you're stepping into a purpose so big it'll take your breath away. This isn't about chasing fleeting success or temporary wins. It's about something deeper, the kind of clarity that shifts your entire perspective. This Friday, you're not just getting answers, you're getting a vision, a map for where you're going next. God's been drawing it all along, and now you're ready to see it. You've been through seasons that tested your faith, moments where you wondered if you were forgotten, but you were never invisible. Every prayer you spoke, every hope you held on to it was heard. This Friday, God's answering in a way that makes every moment of waiting feel worth it. You're about to see the beauty in the delay, the strength in the struggle. And if this resonates, if you feel that fire in your soul, hit that like button. Let's get this message to every chosen one who needs it. Subscribe to join a community of souls ready to step into their divine purpose. Your support makes this possible. Now, picture a moment from your past, a time when you thought you'd never make it through. Maybe it was a loss, a failure, a dream that slipped through your fingers. You're still here. That wasn't an accident. You were carried. This Friday, God's about to show you how those moments were part of a bigger plan. Every scar, every lesson, every tear, it's all coming together to build something unstoppable. You're not defined by what didn't work out. You're defined by what you're becoming. This Friday, you're stepping into a version of yourself that's been waiting to emerge. The delays didn't break you, they made you. God's been sculpting you, piece by piece, for a purpose that's about to unfold. And let's be real, waiting isn't easy. It's heavy, it's humbling, but it's also holy. Every moment you chose to trust, to keep moving forward, you were building a foundation. This Friday, you're stepping onto that foundation. It's solid, it's ready, and it's yours. If you're feeling this, if you're ready for what's coming, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's declare this moment together. This Friday, everything starts to make sense. The waiting, the wondering, the why, it's all leading to a breakthrough that's got your name on it. You've been carrying a spark inside you, a light that no storm could put out. This Friday, that spark becomes a flame. God's about to show you why you were chosen, why you were built for this moment. The delays were never about holding you back. They were about setting you up for something greater. Every step you've taken has been leading here. Every moment of faith, every choice to keep going, it's all been preparation. This Friday, you're not just getting answers, you're getting a calling, a purpose that's been waiting for you to claim it. God's ready to show you why. Chosen one. Are you ready to see it? This Friday, chosen one, the veil lifts. You've been carrying questions in your heart, maybe for years, wondering why certain doors stayed shut, why certain dreams lingered just out of reach. God's about to show you the map He's been drawing. Every detour, every pause, every moment you felt stuck, it was part of a design so intricate you'll stand in awe. This isn't about random chance. It's about divine precision. You've walked through valleys where the shadows felt too heavy, times when you looked around and saw others moving forward while you seemed to stand still. But you weren't standing still. You were growing roots. Deep, unshakable roots that anchor you for what's coming. This Friday, God's revealing how those roots hold you steady for a harvest you couldn't have carried before now. Think of a moment when you felt invisible. Maybe you poured your heart into something, a project, a relationship, a hope, and it seemed like no one noticed. But God saw. Every effort, every quiet sacrifice, every time you chose to keep going, He was keeping count. This Friday, those unseen moments get their spotlight. You'll see how they were building something eternal, something that outlasts the noise of the world. And if this is stirring you, if you feel that pull in your spirit, hit that like button. Let's get this message to every chosen one who's been waiting for their moment. Subscribe to join thousands of souls stepping into their divine calling. Drop a 777 inches the comments if you know this Friday is yours. Now, picture a bridge. You're standing at one end, looking across to a place you've always wanted to reach. The other side holds your dreams, your purpose, your peace. But the bridge has been under construction, and you've had to wait. This Friday, the final pieces snap into place. You're not just crossing that bridge, you're claiming it. Every step you take is proof that the waiting made you stronger. You've carried burdens that others couldn't see. Maybe it was doubt, fear, or the weight of expectations, yours or someone else's. But those burdens weren't meant to crush you. They were weights in a gym, building your spiritual muscle. This Friday, God's showing you how those heavy moments shaped you into someone who can carry the blessings coming your way. Let's talk about time. You've wondered why it's taken so long, why the answers didn't come when you begged for them. Time isn't your enemy, it's God's canvas. Every second of your waiting was a brushstroke, painting a picture you're about to step into. This Friday, you'll see the first colors of that masterpiece. It's not just about what you're receiving, it's about who you're becoming as you receive it. You've been a warrior, even when you didn't feel like one. You've fought battles in your mind, in your heart, in your circumstances. Maybe you've faced rejection, loss, or moments where you questioned your worth. But every fight was forging you. This Friday, God's handing you the victory flag. You're not just surviving, you're stepping into a story where you thrive. Imagine a book, its pages filled with your life. Some chapters felt too long, too painful, too confusing. But this Friday, you turn the page and the story shifts. The plot twists in your favor. The waiting wasn't the end, it was the build-up. God's been writing a story that's about to take your breath away, and you're the main character. If this is hitting home, if you feel that fire growing, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's claim this moment together. Hit that like button to spread this message to every chosen one ready for their breakthrough. Subscribe to join a community of souls walking this divine path. Now, think about the people who've doubted you, the ones who said you couldn't do it, who didn't see your vision. Their words stung, but they didn't stop you. You kept moving, kept believing, kept trusting. This Friday, God's showing you why their doubts didn't matter. Your purpose was never tied to their approval. It was tied to His plan. You're about to walk into a moment that silences every naysayer. You've been planting seeds, even when the ground felt hard. Maybe you've been working toward a goal, praying for a breakthrough, or holding on to hope when it felt foolish. Those seeds weren't lost. This Friday, you'll see the first sprouts. They're small, but they're real. They're proof that your faith wasn't in vain, it was fertile. And here's something else. Your waiting has been a classroom. Every challenge taught you something. Every delay, sharpened your focus. This Friday, you're graduating, not with a degree on paper, but with wisdom in your soul. God's about to show you how those lessons prepared you for a purpose that fits you perfectly. Picture a riverbed, dry and cracked, waiting for rain. You've been that riverbed, longing for something to fill you, to bring you to life. This Friday, the rain comes. It's not a flood, it's a steady flow, bringing clarity, bringing purpose, bringing peace. You're not just being filled, you're becoming a source for others. You've been faithful in the small things, the quiet prayers, the late night struggles, the moments you chose hope over despair. God's been watching. This Friday, He's rewarding your faithfulness with a glimpse of what's next. It's not just about what you'll receive, it's about what you'll do with it. Your purpose is bigger than you, chosen one. If you're ready for this, if you feel that spark igniting, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's declare this Friday as the day everything starts to make sense. Hit that like button to share this energy with every chosen one out there. Subscribe to join thousands of souls ready to step into their divine moment. Now, let's talk about your heart. You've guarded it through pain, through doubt, through seasons of silence, but you never let it harden. That's your strength. This Friday, God's speaking directly to that heart. He's showing you why it had to stay soft, why it had to stay open. Your compassion, your resilience, it's about to become your greatest asset. You've been running a race, not against others, but against your own limits. Every step felt heavy, but you kept going. This Friday, you're hitting a milestone, not the finish line, but a marker that shows you how far you've come. God's about to reveal why this race matters, why your pace was perfect, even when it felt slow. Imagine a key, one that's been hidden for years. You've been searching, wondering what it unlocks. This Friday, you find it. The key fits a door you didn't even know existed. Behind it, a path that's been waiting for you. God's about to show you why the search took so long. It was leading you to something worth finding. You've been building something, even if you didn't see it. Every choice to keep going, every moment of trust, it was a brick in a foundation. This Friday, you're stepping onto that foundation. It's strong, it's steady, and it's ready to hold the dreams God's placed in you. The waiting wasn't wasted, it was construction. And if this message is speaking to you, if you feel that pull in your spirit, hit that like button. Let's get this truth to every chosen one who's been waiting for their moment. Drop a 777 inches the comments if you're ready to see why. Subscribe to join a community of souls stepping into their divine purpose. This Friday, chosen one, the stars align in your favor. You've been navigating a maze, turning corners, hitting walls, wondering if you'd ever find the way out. Every twist, every dead end, every moment of frustration, it was teaching you the path. God's about to show you why the maze was necessary. This Friday, you'll see the exit, and it leads to a place that feels like home. You've carried hopes that felt too heavy to hold, dreams that seemed too big, too distant, too impossible, but you didn't let them go. You clutched them tight, even when the world told you to give up. This Friday, God's revealing why those hopes were worth holding. They weren't just dreams, they were promises, written in your soul before you even knew their shape. Think about the moments you felt alone, maybe in a crowded room, maybe in the quiet of your own heart. You wondered if anyone saw you, if your efforts mattered, but you were never alone. God was there, whispering strength into your spirit. This Friday, He's showing you how those lonely moments were building a connection to Him, to your purpose, to a future brighter than you imagined? If this is sparking something in you, if you feel that fire igniting, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's claim this moment together. Hit that like button to spread this message to every chosen one waiting for their why. Subscribe to join thousands of souls walking this divine journey. Now, picture a mountain. You've been climbing, step by step, through steep trails and rocky paths. Your legs are tired, your heart is heavy, but you've kept going. This Friday, you reach a clearing. The view stretches out before you, vast and breathtaking. God's about to show you why the climb was worth it. Every step was leading to a perspective only you could see. You've been sowing in tears. Maybe it was a loss that broke you, a betrayal that shook you, or a dream that seemed to slip away. But those tears weren't wasted. They watered the ground for something new. This Friday, you'll see the first signs of growth. God's turning your mourning into a harvest, and it's more beautiful than you could have planned. Let's talk about your courage. You've faced moments that would have stopped others cold. You stood tall when the wind was against you, when the odds were stacked high. That wasn't just strength, it was divine power flowing through you. This Friday, God's showing you why He trusted you with those battles. You were chosen to carry a victory that inspires others. Imagine a puzzle, scattered pieces that don't seem to fit. You've been picking them up, turning them over, trying to make sense of the chaos. This Friday, the picture starts to form. God's handing you the pieces that make it clear. The waiting, the wondering. It was all part of assembling a masterpiece that's uniquely yours. If this resonates, if you feel that pull in your spirit, hit that like button. Let's get this truth to every chosen one ready for their moment. Drop a 777 inches the comments if you know this Friday is your turning point. Subscribe to join a community of souls stepping into their divine calling. You've been running on faith, even when the tank felt empty. You trusted when it didn't make sense, believed when the world said you shouldn't. That faith wasn't blind, it was a bridge. This Friday, you're crossing it. God's about to show you what's on the other side, a purpose that fits every piece of your story. Think about the promises you've made to yourself. The quiet vows to keep going, to not give up, to become who you're meant to be. Those weren't just words, they were contracts with your destiny. This Friday, God's signing His name on those promises. You'll see why they mattered, why they were worth keeping. You've been a lighthouse, standing firm through storms. Maybe you didn't feel like it, but your light kept shining. Your faith, your resilience, your refusal to quit, it's been guiding others, even when you didn't know. This Friday, God's showing you how your light has mattered. You're not just a survivor, you're a beacon for hope. Picture a garden, one you've tended through drought and frost. You've watered it with effort, protected it with prayer, nurtured it with hope. This Friday, the first blooms appear. They're small, but they're real. God's revealing why your care was worth it, why every moment of tending mattered. You've been walking a tightrope, balancing fear and faith, doubt and determination. Every step felt shaky, but you didn't fall. This Friday, you reach solid ground. God's showing you why the balance was necessary. It was training you to walk with confidence into your purpose. If this is hitting home, if you feel that spark growing, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's declare this Friday as the day everything starts to make sense. Hit that like button to share this energy with every chosen one out there. Subscribe to join thousands of souls ready to step into their divine moment. Now, let's talk about your scars, The ones from battles you didn't choose, from wounds you didn't deserve. They're not just marks, they're medals, proof of what you've overcome. This Friday, God's showing you why those scars matter. They're part of a story that's about to inspire the world. You've been waiting for a sign, something to show you you're on the right path. Maybe it's been a whisper, a feeling, a moment of clarity you couldn't explain. This Friday, that sign becomes clear. God's lighting up the road ahead, showing you why every step was leading you here. Imagine a tapestry, threads woven together in patterns you couldn't see. Your life, every joy, every pain, every weight is part of that design. This Friday, God pulls back the curtain. You'll see how the threads connect, how the waiting was weaving something beautiful. You've been holding space for hope, even when it felt fragile. You didn't let the world steal it, didn't let doubt snuff it out. That hope was your anchor. This Friday, God's showing you why it was worth holding. It's about to become the foundation for everything you're stepping into. And if this message is speaking to you, if you feel that fire in your soul, hit that like button. Let's spread this truth to every chosen one waiting for their why. Drop a 777 inches the comments if you're ready to see it. Subscribe to join a community of souls walking this divine path. This Friday, chosen one, the tide turns. You've been swimming against currents, pushing through waves that seemed determined to pull you under. Every stroke, the moment you refused to sink, it was building your strength. God's about to show you why those waters were so rough. They were shaping you into someone who can navigate any storm. You've carried questions that felt like anchors. Why the delays? Why the silence? Why the obstacles that seemed to block your path? But those questions weren't meant to weigh you down, they were meant to deepen your trust. This Friday, God's handing you answers that lift you up, showing you how every question led to clarity. Think about the moments you chose to stand firm. Maybe it was a day you wanted to quit, a night you felt too tired to keep going, but you stayed. You planted your feet and held your ground. This Friday, God's revealing why that resilience mattered. Your stand wasn't just for you, it was for a purpose that's about to unfold. If this is stirring your soul, if you feel that spark catching fire, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's claim this moment together. Hit that like button to spread this message to every chosen one waiting for their breakthrough. Subscribe to join thousands of souls stepping into their divine calling. Now, picture a clock. Its hands have been moving slower than you wanted, ticking through moments that felt like eternity. You've waited, watched, wondered when your time would come. This Friday, the clock strikes your hour. God's showing you why the timing had to be perfect, why every second was preparing you for now. You've been carrying a vision, something only you could see. Maybe others didn't understand it. Maybe they called it impossible. But you held it close, nurtured it through doubt and delay. This Friday, that vision starts to take shape. God's revealing why it was worth protecting. It's the blueprint for your future. Let's talk about the sacrifices you've made. The late nights, the early mornings, the moments you gave more than you had. Those weren't losses, they were investments. This Friday, God's showing you the return. Every sacrifice was a seed, and the harvest is closer than you think. Imagine a door, one you've knocked on again and again. You've prayed, you've hoped, you've waited for it to open. This Friday, the hinges creak. It's not wide open yet, but you'll see the light through the crack. God's showing you why the wait was necessary. The door leads to something bigger than you imagined. If this is hitting home, if you feel that pull in your spirit, hit that like button. Let's get this truth to every chosen one ready for their moment. Drop a 777 inches the comments if you know this Friday is your turning point. Subscribe to join a community of souls walking this divine path. You've been building a fire, gathering twigs in the dark, striking flint when your hands were cold. Every spark that didn't catch, every flame that flickered out, it taught you how to keep the fire alive. This Friday, God's showing you why that fire matters. It's about to light up the path ahead, guiding you and others. You faced moments that tested your patience, days when nothing seemed to move, when progress felt like a myth. But you didn't stop. You kept showing up, kept believing. This Friday, God's revealing why your patience was a weapon. It was carving out space for a blessing that needed room to grow. Picture a river, winding through a landscape you didn't choose. You followed its curves, trusted its flow, even when it led you through rough terrain. This Friday, the river widens. God's showing you why the journey twisted. It was leading you to a place of abundance, a place you were always meant to find. You've been holding on to faith, even when it felt like a thread, thin, fragile, but unbroken. That thread has been your lifeline, connecting you to something greater. This Friday, God's showing you why that faith was enough. It's about to weave into a tapestry that tells your story. And if this message is speaking to you, if you feel that fire growing, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's declare this Friday as the day everything starts to make sense. Hit that like button to share this energy with every chosen one out there. Subscribe to join thousands of souls ready to step into their divine moment. Now, think about the weight you've carried, not just your own, but the burdens of others, family, friends, dreams you've held for them. You've been a pillar, even when you felt like crumbling. This Friday, God's showing you why your strength was needed. It wasn't just for you, it was for a ripple effect that's about to spread. You've been walking through fog, unable to see far ahead. Every step felt uncertain, but you kept moving. That trust in the unseen, it's been your training. This Friday, the fog lifts. God's revealing why the view was hidden. It was teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight. Imagine a seed in your hand. You've held it, unsure when to plant, unsure if the soil was ready. But you didn't let it go. This Friday, God's showing you the ground is fertile. The seed you've carried is ready to grow, and the harvest will be more than you dreamed. You've been a student of life's hardest lessons. Rejection taught you resilience. Failure taught you grit. Delay taught you trust. This Friday, God's handing you the diploma. You're ready to step into the role you've been trained for, a role that only you can fill. If this is igniting something in you, if you feel that spark blazing, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's claim this moment for every chosen one. Hit that like button to spread this truth far and wide. Subscribe to join a community of souls stepping into their divine purpose. You've been shaping something in the dark. A dream, a hope, a version of yourself you couldn't fully see. Every effort, every prayer, it was chiseling away at the stone. This Friday, God's turning on the light. You'll see the outline of what you've been building, and it's more beautiful than you knew. You've been standing at a crossroads, unsure which path to take. You've waited for a sign, a signal, a whisper to guide you. This Friday, the sign comes. God's showing you why the choice wasn't clear before it was waiting for you to be ready to walk the right road. Picture a flame, small but steady, burning through the coldest nights. That's you. Your faith, your hope, your refusal to quit, it's kept that flame alive. This Friday, God's showing you why it was worth tending. That flame is about to light up something bigger than you ever imagined. You've been carrying a song in your heart, even when the world tried to silence it. A melody of hope, of purpose, of faith. This Friday, God's turning up the volume. You'll hear why that song was worth singing. It's the anthem of your breakthrough. And if this is hitting your soul, if you feel that fire rising, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's declare this Friday as the day it all comes together. Hit that like button to share this message with every chosen one waiting for their why. Subscribe to join thousands of souls on this divine journey. This Friday, chosen one, the ground beneath you shifts. You've been walking on unsteady terrain, feeling the earth move with every step, questioning if you'd ever find solid footing. Every stumble, every moment of doubt, it was teaching you balance. God's about to show you why the ground had to shake. It was preparing you to stand firm in a moment that changes everything. You've carried a spark of hope through the darkest nights. When the world felt heavy, when answers didn't come, you held on to that flicker. It wasn't just stubbornness, it was divine stubbornness. This Friday, God's fanning that spark into a flame. You'll see why it was worth protecting. It's about to light up your path. Think about the moments you felt stretched thin. Maybe it was giving your all to others, holding space for their dreams while yours waited. You wondered if your turn would ever come. This Friday, God's turning the spotlight on you. Your sacrifices weren't overlooked. They were investments in a future that's about to bloom. If this is stirring your heart, if you feel that fire catching, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's claim this moment together. Hit that like button to spread this truth to every chosen one waiting for their why. Subscribe to join thousands of souls stepping into their divine purpose. Now, picture a compass. You've been holding it, watching the needle spin, searching for direction in a world that felt chaotic. Every time it wavered, you trusted it would settle. This Friday, the needle locks in. God's showing you why the search took so long. It was pointing you to a destination only you could reach. You've been weaving a story, even when the threads felt tangled. Every choice, every tear, every moment of faith, it was part of the pattern. This Friday, God's pulling the threads tight. You'll see the first glimpse of the design, and it's more intricate than you ever imagined. Let's talk about the weight of waiting. It's pressed on you, tested you, made you question your strength, but you didn't break. You bent, you grew, you adapted. This Friday, God's showing you why the weight was heavy. It was building muscles for a purpose that needs your full strength. Imagine a locked chest, its contents hidden from view. You've been searching for the key, wondering what's inside. This Friday, God hands you the key. You won't see everything yet, but the chest cracks open, revealing just enough to show you why the wait was worth it. If this resonates, if you feel that pull in your spirit, hit that like button. Let's get this message to every chosen one ready for their breakthrough. Drop a 777 inches the comments if you know this Friday is your moment. Subscribe to join a community of souls walking this divine path. You've been holding a lantern in the dark. Its light faint but steady. You've walked through shadows, trusting it would guide you. That trust wasn't misplaced. This Friday, God's turning up the brightness. You'll see why the light was enough. It's about to illuminate a path you were always meant to walk. You've faced moments that felt like dead ends, plans that fell apart, dreams that seemed to fade. But you didn't stop. You found a way to keep moving, to keep believing. This Friday, God's showing you why those endings weren't final. They were doorways to something new. Picture a riverbank where you've stood watching the water rush by. You've waited for the right moment to step in, to let the current carry you. This Friday, the moment comes. God's showing you why the wait was perfect. The current's about to take you exactly where you need to be. You've been carrying a promise, one you couldn't always see clearly. Maybe it was a whisper in your heart, a feeling you couldn't shake. You held it through doubt, through fear, through silence. This Friday, God's making that promise clearer. You'll see why it was worth carrying. It's the seed of your breakthrough. If this is hitting home, if you feel that spark igniting, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's declare this Friday as the day everything starts to make sense. Hit that like button to share this energy with every chosen one out there. Subscribe to join thousands of souls ready to step into their divine moment. Now, think about the battles you fought in silence. The ones no one saw. The ones you carried alone. Every time you chose to keep going, you were winning. This Friday, God's showing you why those victories mattered. They were shaping you into a warrior for a purpose bigger than yourself. You've been planting flags in the ground, small acts of faith, moments of courage, choices to trust when it wasn't easy. Each flag marked your journey. This Friday, God's showing you why those markers matter. They're leading you to a territory you were born to claim. Imagine a mirror, one that's been clouded over. You've caught glimpses of yourself, but never the full picture. This Friday, the fog clears. God's showing you why the reflection was hidden. It was waiting for you to become the person you see now. You've been running a relay, passing the baton to yourself through every season of struggle. Each handoff felt heavy, but you didn't drop it. This Friday, God's showing you why you had to keep running. The finish line isn't the end, it's the start of something greater. If this is speaking to your soul, if you feel that fire rising, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's claim this moment for every chosen one. Hit that like button to spread this truth far and wide. Subscribe to join a community of souls stepping into their divine purpose. You've been building a bridge, plank by plank, across a chasm of doubt. Every step felt risky, every board felt fragile, but you kept building. This Friday, God's showing you why the bridge matters. It's not just for you, it's for others who'll follow your path. You've been holding a melody, one that's played softly in your heart. Through pain, through waiting, through uncertainty, it never stopped. This Friday, God's turning up the volume. You'll hear why that melody was worth keeping. It's the soundtrack to your breakthrough. Picture a tree, standing tall through seasons of drought and storm. Its roots dig deep, its branches reach high. That's you, chosen one. This Friday, God's showing you why you had to weather those seasons. Your roots are ready to hold the fruit of your purpose. You've been walking a tightrope between fear and faith. Every step tested your balance, but you didn't fall. This Friday, God's showing you why the tightrope was necessary. It was training you to walk with confidence into a destiny that's yours alone. And if this message is igniting your spirit, if you feel that spark blazing, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's declare this Friday as the day it all comes together. Hit that like button to share this message with every chosen one waiting for their why. Subscribe to join thousands of souls on this divine journey. This Friday, chosen one, the curtain rises. You've been rehearsing in the shadows, learning your lines through trials, practicing your steps through pain. Every stumble, every moment you had to start again, it was preparing you for the stage. God's about to show you why the rehearsal was so long. This Friday, the spotlight finds you, and your role becomes clear. You've carried a weight that felt like it chose you. Maybe it was responsibility, maybe grief, maybe a dream too big to hold alone. But you didn't drop it. You kept going, even when your arms shook. This Friday, God's revealing why that weight was yours. It wasn't a burden, it was a crown, shaping you for a purpose only you could wear. Think about the nights you spent searching for answers. You prayed, you questioned, you waited for a sign. Those sleepless hours weren't empty, they were sacred. This Friday, God's showing you why the silence was necessary. It was teaching you to hear His voice above the noise. If this is stirring your soul, if you feel that fire catching, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's claim this moment together. Hit that like button to spread this truth to every chosen one waiting for their why. Subscribe to join thousands of souls stepping into their divine purpose. Now, picture a map, crumpled and worn from years of carrying it. You've followed its lines, even when they led through deserts or storms. Every step felt uncertain, but you trusted the journey. This Friday, God's smoothing out the map. You'll see why the path twisted. It was leading you to a destination written just for you. You've been holding a flame against the wind. It flickered, it wavered, but you shielded it with your hands, your heart, your faith. That wasn't just instinct, it was divine resolve. This Friday, God's showing you why that flame matters. It's about to light a fire that changes everything. Let's talk about the moments you felt unseen. You gave your all, poured out your heart, and wondered if it made a difference. But every effort was a seed, planted in soil you couldn't see. This Friday, God's showing you the sprouts. Your work wasn't wasted, it was building a harvest. This Friday, chosen one, the winds shift. You've been standing against gusts that pushed you back, forcing you to dig in, to hold your ground. Every moment you refused to be moved was a victory. God's about to show you why those winds blew so hard. They were teaching you to stand tall for a purpose that's ready to unfold. You've carried a question like a stone in your pocket. Why the weight? Why the struggle? Why the silence? When you needed answers most. That stone wasn't there to weigh you down, it was there to remind you to keep seeking. This Friday, God's turning it over, revealing the truth etched on its surface. Think about the times you felt like you were starting over. A plan fell apart, a hope faded, and you had to rebuild from scratch. Those weren't setbacks, they were foundations. This Friday, God's showing you why you had to begin again. Each restart was a step towards something unshakable. If this is stirring your heart, if you feel that fire catching, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's claim this moment together. Hit that like button to spread this truth to every chosen one waiting for their why. Subscribe to join thousands of souls stepping into their divine purpose. Now, picture a horizon. You've been staring at it, wondering when you'd reach it, when the distance would close. Every step felt small, but you kept walking. This Friday, God's bringing the horizon closer. You'll see why the journey stretched so far. It was leading you to a view meant only for you. You've been holding a promise, one that felt too fragile to trust. Maybe it was a dream you doubted, a hope you questioned, but you didn't let it go. This Friday, God's showing you why that promise was worth keeping. It's the spark that's about to ignite your next chapter. Let's talk about the moments you felt out of place, like you didn't fit, like the world wasn't built for your kind of heart. But that discomfort wasn't a flaw, it was a sign. This Friday, God's showing you why you were different. Your uniqueness is the key to a door only you can open. Imagine a clock tower, its hands stuck for too long. You've waited, watched, wondered when time would move again. This Friday, the gears turn. God's showing you why the pause was necessary. It was setting the stage for a moment that's perfectly timed. If this resonates, if you feel that pull in your spirit, hit that like button. Let's get this message to every chosen one ready for their breakthrough. Drop a 777 inches the comments if you know this Friday is your moment. Subscribe to join a community of souls walking this divine path. You've been tending a fire, small and fragile, through rain and wind. Every time it flickered, you shielded it, kept it alive. That wasn't just effort, it was faith. This Friday, God's showing you why that fire was worth guarding. It's about to warm a future you've been dreaming of. You faced days that felt like mazes. Every turn led to another question, another challenge. But you kept moving, trusting there was a way through. This Friday, God's showing you the exit. You'll see why the maze was so complex. It was training you to navigate your destiny. Picture a riverbed, dry and waiting for water. You've stood there, hoping for the flow, believing it would come. This Friday, the first drops fall. God's showing you why the drought was long. It was preparing you to carry a current that changes everything. You've been holding a vision, one that felt too big to hold. Maybe it scared you, maybe it seemed impossible, but you didn't let it fade. This Friday, God's showing you why that vision was yours. It's the blueprint for a purpose that's about to take shape. If this is hitting home, if you feel that spark igniting, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's declare this Friday as the day everything starts to make sense. Hit that like button to share this energy with every chosen one out there. Subscribe to join thousands of souls ready to step into their divine moment. Now, think about the moments you felt stretched beyond your limits. You gave, you fought, you held on when you had nothing left. That wasn't weakness, it was growth. This Friday, God's showing you why you had to stretch. It was making room for a blessing too big for your old boundaries. You've been walking a path lined with thorns. Every step hurt, but you kept going, trusting there was a reason. This Friday, the thorns clear. God's showing you why the path was rough. It was leading you to a garden where your dreams can grow. Imagine a book, its pages filled with your story. Some chapters were heavy, some felt unfinished, but you kept writing, kept turning the page. This Friday, God's showing you the next chapter. It's not the end, but it's a pivot, revealing why every word mattered. You've been carrying a light through a storm. It flickered, but it never went out. You held it high, even when the rain poured. This Friday, God's showing you why that light was crucial. It's about to guide you to a place where the storm finally calms. If this is speaking to your soul, if you feel that fire rising, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's claim this moment for every chosen one. Hit that like button to spread this truth far and wide. Subscribe to join a community of souls stepping into their divine purpose. You've been building a bridge across a river of doubt. Every plank you laid felt shaky, but you kept working. This Friday, God's showing you why the bridge was worth building. It's not just for you, it's for others who'll cross it because of your faith. You've faced moments that felt like echoes of the past. Old wounds, old fears, resurfacing to test you. But you didn't let them define you. This Friday, God's showing you why those echoes came. They were teaching you to rewrite your story with strength. Picture a lantern glowing softly in the night. You've carried it through darkness, trusting it would show the way. This Friday, God's turning up its light. You'll see why it was enough. It's about to reveal a path you were always meant to walk. You've been holding a seed, unsure when to plant it. You waited, trusted, believed the soil would be ready. This Friday, God's showing you the ground is fertile. You'll see why the wait was long. It was preparing a harvest that's uniquely yours. And if this message is igniting your spirit, if you feel that spark blazing, drop a 777 inches the comments. Let's declare this Friday as the day it all comes together. Hit that like button to share this message with every chosen one waiting for their why. Subscribe to join thousands of souls on this divine journey.